Hey girl, I just escaped from Shanspeare's basement and I wanted to tell you something. Also, this is not an American propaganda shirt. I don't roll like that. I do not roll like that. This is a wrestling shirt, which, seeing how that's going, it might as well be propaganda shirt. My bad. In early May, a 12-foot statue made entirely of bronze was erected in New York's iconic Times Square. The statue depicts a black woman with a braided bob, casual clothes, and an almost placid expression, all of which works in tandem with her relaxed pose. The statue was created by Thomas J. Price, who was a talented, decorated, and dedicated artist. Price's work is about subversion. It's about starting conversations and questioning the underlying elements of life, society, and the body. And girl, he's really passionate about this. His 2001 installation, for instance, is named Licked, and it features him licking the walls of a gallery for 3 days straight. He intended for this installation to be invisible to the eye, which, duh, you can't see saliva on the wall after it's already dried, after all. But as he kept licking, his tongue began to bleed, and he left squiggles of spit and blood on the walls for his audience to see. It's the kind of art that's visceral yet vague and is entirely left up to, the viewer's interpretation. According to his website, his art seeks to, quote, confront preconceived attitudes towards representation and identity, foregrounding the intrinsic value of the individual and subverting structures of hierarchy. Why did I struggle to read that, okay? In other words, his goal is to challenge you, your biases, and society. His goal is to humanize and make immortal those often undervalued. The statue in Times Square, part of a series titled Grounded in the Stars, is the perfect vehicle for such intention. According to Taryn Finley, writing for Refinery29, not only is the statue erected in the most iconic tourist destination in the United States, but it's also erected in the same space as two other statues, Francis P. Duffy's statue and George M. Cohan's statue. Without the cross on which he stands, Duffy's statue is around 8 feet tall, which is of similar height to Cohan's statue, again, without the base. That means that Price's statue of a black woman figuratively towers over the other two statues in the vicinity. The decision to make her so tall without needing a platform is thought-provoking on its own. Coupling that with her demeanor and dress, especially juxtaposed against the other two statues, makes it all the more interesting. This is a woman at rest, wholly relaxed and unbothered. She wears simple clothes, where Cohan is depicted in a full suit and a fashionable walking stick. Her body is soft and unstrained, which is more than I can say for Father Duffy. Price's statue is intentional, every facet of it. The stance is meant to reference the classic elegance of Michelangelo's David, while simultaneously, quote, disrupting traditional ideas around what defines a triumphant figure, and challenges who should be rendered immortal through monumentalization, end quote. Price's installation is unfortunately not a permanent fixture. It'll be taken down after June 17th, 2025. So at the time of filming it, girl, it's already gone. This is yet another direct contrast to the other statues in the area, which are permanent, and perhaps speaks to Price's theme even more. But that's not the only thing proving his point. As I'm sure you know by now, something this complex can't exist without misrepresentation or backlash on the internet. People are, as the academics say, bubble-brained. I wanted to start with Price's intention and the thought behind the statue before I delved into the discourse surrounding it, because I think having this context allows us to see how absolutely balls to the wall everyone is being. Let's look at some commentary.
It's a bad representation for black women.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually horrible. So many successful black women out here. Why did you have to put LaQuisha? That representation is LaQuisha. The box braids.
I love you.
On the hip. That's attitude. That's a bad representation. I don't know. I just speak my mind because this though, the girl is a figure out of low-income housing or something. You could do better. You could do better. Represent us right.
Okay, next one.
Fat, black, and ugly in Times Square is wild. Like, they really think we're a joke. Like, that big behind, big, overweight, just, there's nothing attractive about the statue.
In addition to that, there's a change.org petition allegedly made by a Black woman calling for the removal of the statue. And the description states, unlike the graceful and dignified portrayals often seen in public art of women from other backgrounds, this statue presents a distorted image of Black women that promotes harmful stereotypes rather than inspiring pride or respect. Some of the comments read as following. The statue perpetuates a stereotype called the mammy, which has historically devalued and demeaned Black women. A mammy is a U.S. historical stereotype depicting Black women, usually enslaved, who did domestic work among nursing children. The fictionalized mammy character is often visualized as a dark-skinned woman with a motherly personality. If a statue was meant to uplift Black women, then one could have been made showing a Black woman who looks healthy and happy.
Leave me alone!
The ill-fitting clothes and facial expression gives the impression of mental struggle. Being overweight is not healthy. That statue is further damaging Black women's image in the world, overweight and poorly dressed. The persons who erected the statue should be ashamed, especially that so-called artist. There has been nothing but hateful comments online and in person due to the artist's incompetence. I'm speechless, honestly. This discourse is so bizarre that it's forcing me to pull out an ancient Tumblr text to make sense of it. Years ago, there was this very iconic quote by Janice Lee that made its way to Tumblr. Draw a monster. Why is it a monster? I want everyone who views this statue as a racialized caricature or a disgusting masculine monster to stop and consider why. What about the statue causes you to view it through an anti-Black lens? Is it the hairstyle, the clothes, the way in which it's standing? Is it the weight, or the fact that it's representing someone unambiguously Black? I ask this because there isn't anything, to me at least, that is immediately apparent about this statue that would warrant the abuse it has faced. And there's certainly a pattern to the discourse. All of the commentary I've shown you features some kind of anti-Black rhetoric or fatphobia, which is ironic because these women claim to be combating those very narratives, or at least combating the first narrative. The first TikTok calls the statue low-income LaQuisha, which is intentionally misogynoristic. The second TikTok calls the statue big, angry, and masculine, which is again misogynoristic. And the petition, as well as the comments under it, compare the statue to a historically racist stereotype, aka the mammy. All I'm saying is, when your commentary starts sounding like the anti-woke white supremacists on Twitter, you're in danger, girl. Here's the thing. The statue cannot be angry because it does not have a facial expression. It's entirely neutral. Her stance is not angry because it's simply at rest. I stand like that literally all the time. It cannot be low income because it is a bronze inanimate object, and you would know nothing of someone's finances if you saw them walking down the street in this exact outfit, in this exact hairstyle, just as they are. Speaking of, the outfit is not sloppy or unfashionable. Just jeans and a t-shirt. Literally what I'm wearing right now. The most average, normal, human outfit of our recent generations. The statue being fat does not make it anti-Black. Being fat also doesn't make it a mammy caricature. The mammy is very specific. Her style of dress, her mannerisms, her purpose. It goes beyond just body type. These women aren't protecting Black women or avenging us for the centuries of racism, classism, and fatphobia that we have faced. These women are reproducing and upholding those very same discriminatory systems. I have something in my eye bad right now. When you draw a monster, your biases inform what makes it monstrous, right? You looked upon an otherwise average, neutral depiction of a black woman, and you immediately pivoted toward 19th century misogynoir. That says more about you than it does about the sculptor or the women who feel represented by the statue. The statue does not represent a stereotype. It represents a person. This person exists and they should be allowed to exist. The statue does not depict a skinny woman and her clothing is not extravagant, but it doesn't have to, and it does not make her an anti-black caricature because it doesn't. In fact, the reaction to this statue speaks more to the viewer's anti-black nature and the misogynoir that poisons our society than it does anything else. Black women are not allowed to be people. We have to exist as perfect, undeniable beings who never falter, who never look out of place, who never embody anything other than ideal desirability and beauty at all times. Our hair has to be perfectly styled in the latest trendy way at all times. We have to always be wearing the most perfect, trendy thing. Our bodies have to meet impossible standards as we're pulled between Eurocentric ideals and ideals of our own. We have to be skinny in the waist, but big in the hips. We have to have a thigh gap somehow and a big perky chest. We can't be average. We can't exist naturally. We have to be grand representations of our race. And the moment we slip or rebel or exist otherwise, we are disrespected and stripped of our humanity. Going back to Price's intention with this statue, this becomes even clearer. What truly defines a triumphant figure in society and who is allowed to be monumentalized? According to the discourse, Black women who look like this don't deserve anything, let alone a statue. We should allow ourselves the right to be average. Being average doesn't mean you aren't beautiful or interesting or desirable. It means you're a person. Averageness is the bare minimum human experience. Humans are average. There's nothing particularly mind-blowing about the way we look or the way we're designed. In fact, we're pretty much abominations. Once you start thinking about how the human body looks or operates, it loses the mystique. It starts to read a little silly. I mean, I consider myself an average person. I spent years of my life caught between conflicting beauty standards and came away with the realization that I don't fit into anyone's ideal. Well, my man think I'm fine. I've never been slim thick. I've never been able to lay a lace wig or my baby hairs. I'm definitely beautiful and funny and talented and kind, but I'm not internet beautiful. Does that make sense? Where I come from, most people look like me and they look like this statue. I look like this statue. I mean, her face is similar to mine and her body type is probably the closest I've seen represented. I even had a braided bob not too long ago. I don't know. I think the statue's beautiful. I think the curve of her body, even though it's made out of literal bronze, is so natural and real. The texture of the box braids is unbelievable. If you were to see me standing in Times Square dressed exactly like this, hair exactly like this, standing exactly like this, it would be terrifying and disgusting for you to look me in the eye and call me a mammy. It would be disgusting to open your mouth and call me LaQuisha or imply that I am impoverished just because of the way I am existing. The statue doesn't have to look like someone you know for you to stop hurling anti-black insults at it. It doesn't have to look like somebody's mom or auntie or cousin. Girl, it just has to look like someone, and it does look like someone. And that should be enough. Anyways, that's my time. Shanspeare is coming back to lock me up in the basement, but it was nice seeing sunshine for a few minutes. Bye! See you next time.